I wanted to say on the Freire point too, and he's right. The way out for everybody is a process of humanization.
Yeah.
That's the way out for everybody. You as a capitalist or someone who you're a boss, you're a landlord or whatever, and you've made it to this point and now these critiques are being raised to you, or you're seeing this cultural thing and you're not so far gone that you don't have a heart anymore.
Right.
And so now you're sitting with these feelings and you're assessing it and you're feeling guilt and you're feeling all these different things. It's like the end point isn't supposed to be where, you know, you're guillotined or you're what. That's not the ideal, you know.
Right.
Like that's the rage that people are feeling under the structural violence that you perpetuate.
Right.
But that the end point is supposed to be a systems and a way of being with everyone that fully humanizes everyone. And for you to actually humanize yourself, you can't have a hand in these systems that they make you more money and give you more power, but they isolate you from everyone else. They make you feel more paranoid and more skeptical, and they make you feel like,
feeling a class divide is real. Like,
I mean, yeah.
when someone fundamentally has less bread than you,
because
it's just like,
because everybody's talking about eat the rich,
gobble the rich,
gobble the rich.
But it's like there's 110%.
Gobble up the rich.
None of this is to paint this like some sort of rosy picture of our overlords or something.
Right.
None of this is to say that, to imply that most of the tiny group of people that are ruling over us have some type of like, you know, good motivations or something like that. It's just to say that there are going to be people who have more and who have more access, and there's a cognitive dissonance. The way that they see themselves morally or in terms of their values or their principles is not actually like, it's not consistent with the structures and institutions that they themselves maintain and perpetuate. And it's just to say that there's an opening there. And I think there's enough people where it's like, yeah, like, because we need like resources to spark these projects that are gonna inspire people, or at least gesture towards something different. Just like with liberals and conservatives and whatever, they're all bankrolling their political visions and their agendas off of blood money and money that they made and are making from the systems that they're actively trying to maintain.
Right.
But it's like there's got to be a cross section. It goes back to what we talked about this some episodes back, but there's got to be a cross section of people where they're genuinely conflicted and confused and even people that maybe, dog, it's like we literally talked about, it's like if you're a billionaire, even if you have over $4 or $5 million liquid or in assets or whatever, you are fine.
Right.
So what is your ideological North Star?
Mars.
Really?
Mars, dog.
What is it?
And we got
what
guys out here with tens of
billions.
Tens of billions to their own personal
What are
name.
you living for?
Right.
The fucking game, man.
That TikTok
That's
where
all it is.
she said, you have world building money.
Yeah.
Like you have world creating money. You do.
Yeah.
Right. That was about Beyonce, wasn't it?
Yeah. What are you living for?
Right.
What are you living for?
Right.
Are you gonna live for an idea, a status that isn't? It's like it's not forever. You know, it's not like. And what does that do for you?
It's like,
are you? Yeah, it's also maybe there's a fatalism with a lot of these types too. They're like, well, this system is much bigger than me. I couldn't put a dent in this thing.
So I couldn't put a dent.
I might as well enjoy it while it's here.
Even if my father's army.
What am I going to stress myself out even more? And it's like, no.
These are all Killer Mike quotes, by the way.
It would be less stress for you. It would be less stress for you. Your business ventures wouldn't be these things where you're tiptoeing or you're moving into a space where you know secretly everyone is just they're not really, they fucking hate you, or they don't even really
Right.
like you, but
It's
they're there because of
indifferent.
the
Right.
money you put up.
It is.
Right.
It is irrelevant.
Why would you
like
create
or
an apparatus of people and systems around you to where you can't even know that they actually love you and trust you? Why would you
Yeah.
actively perpetuate that just for this feeling of power and status?
Because you gotta
Right.
get
That is for
money,
your
power.
for something just it's like it's such, you know, people say low vibrations. It's
Yeah.
like such a low, and that's the goofiest part of it, that you could have that much power for something so low vibration.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's about
There's
money,
nothing.
power,
Respect.
fellas.
You lie.
Or you could just
You
play.
lie.
Or you could just play Sims and type Rosebud into the little thing, and you got all the money right there.
Or
But here's where-
money, cash, hose. Of course.
It comes full circle on Rick's point about trauma.
Yeah.
Because with some of these motherfuckers, that's what it is. That's what I think about when I think of Kanye and the white validation bullshit that he's going through.
Right.
But
I've
that shit
truly
has
gone
real
through,
impact.
Like a freeing moment where I
That
I'm
has
just like don't give a fuck about Kanye anymore. Truly.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But I'm just, he's super relevant for this
Like
conversation.
I'm sorry, not about him, about trying to understand him. Like I'm just like I don't
Or trying
beats the fuck out of me. I don't know
Or-
why.
trying to understand like
Because
like
I'm
his
getting to a point
plan.
where I'm like, is he actually just like evil as a person? Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
let's
yes.
do away with that though.
right,
Like,
right.
It's like
the
let's
morality.
let's do away with that. It's like
Demoralizing.
some shit happened to him in his developmental years
Right.
that brought him to this place where he has all these fucking ideas and feelings in his head, and it's led to lots of money and status and power, which he's losing in real time. But it's also it leads to hurt. It can lead to dangerous things. This is why when people talk about fascism and they underscore this point about fear, it's so important.
Right.
You know, granted, when it's fascism and like white supremacy and whatever, the dimensions are different, but people are carrying fucking trauma with them, and it kind of moves into these fucking wild ideas and even actions. But I was just, even on Kanye, I'm like, he comes to mind for obvious reasons, but zeroing in on like the specific thing about white validation and status, and that being such a powerful motivating force in your life.
Yeah.
To the point where it could be everything that you do.
Right.
Everything that you do is just, and it's impacting millions of people, but it's just to get some semblance of something that you probably will never get.
Right.
It's unreachable.
Right. Right.
And it's all
It's
because of
sad.
shit you went through in your developmental years of life.
Mm-hmm.
Lies you were told, just indoctrination, whatever it is,
Yeah.
And that's obviously not everybody with wealth and power and status. For a lot of those motherfuckers, it's handed down as multi-generational. It's,
right.
and they're just kind of like, well, I'm just in it. This is what I was handed by God. I'm here. I don't know what this socialism crap is, but I'm not.
There's truly
Right.
nothing more unsettling than old money, young people.
Yeah.
And can I just say this? For the record, I would much, 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 much rather us be spending most of our time talking about what we as poor and working class people can do right now.
Right.
But sometimes when I go there with people and I keep like swinging back to that train of thought and that type of conversation, it feels like walking up the steepest mountain because of our obsession with personality in this country and celebrity in this country
Right.
and status in this
Right.
country. It almost feels like I have to start with people at the top layer of status and money and power to try and bring it back down to what we can do.
Right.
But I hate that. I wish we
Yeah.
could all just look at each other and be like, yeah, let's just get free right now together.
Right.
Right.
But we have to
But-
constantly wrestle with these fucking distractions at the highest, most abstracted layers and levels.
Again,
And it's a
yeah.
fucking huge waste of time.